We're here with another in-person field interview, and this time we have somebody that we've talked to twice previously on the podcast remotely, and I'm so excited to have them in person. Today we're talking with Ben Olding.
It's a special treat.
Yeah,
man.
from Dragon Fist VR. One of our favorite VR games, no doubt. So it's so fun to have you in person. Ben, since, some of the developers talk to, they have a new game coming out or something like that. With you, we just saw you on campus. We had to pull you into chat a bit. So how are you enjoying Connect this year?
Oh, I'm loving it. It's my first time here. It's amazing place. Honored to be invited in the first place. Lots of exciting news and lots of exciting people to meet.
Nice. So what's been going on with Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu?
Well, I've been just slogging away with it ever since. Still hard at work. Added in the Shaolin soccer mode recently, so you can play football while you're fighting, or fight while you're playing football. And we've got lots of things in the pipeline, new characters, DLC packs. The first one, they'll be the Masters of Death, who are inspired by some characters from Shogun Assassin and Big Trouble in Little China. So they're quite cool. And we've got character editor in the works. We talked about that on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be badass.
I think it's going to be good. You were to record in your own Kung Fu moves.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't trust myself with that.
No.
Something else. Oh yeah, the weapons mode is underway, but it's going to take quite a long time to get that.
That's awesome,
get that
though.
Down.
So it's good to, a game that's been out for quite some time, but continues to improve, and that pace isn't slowing down at all, it seems.
Not for the time being, partly because I just want this stuff done, I want to see this stuff come to life.
Yeah, I get it.
And the longer you leave it, the harder it is to stay enthused, So yeah, so I want it done at least. Yeah.
Well, it's a fun game, especially co-op when co-op dropped for that, and we could redo that campaign together.
Yeah, we were all over it.
We get way too into it as well, too. You start being Clayton, start ripping the body shots all wide. It's too much fun.
It's just much better, isn't it, being in VR, having someone else there.
Absolutely.
It used to be very isolating that all games are single player and you just be in there on your own.
No.
And even if you just got someone watching or, watching while you're fighting, I think that, it feels like you're both in that same place at the same time.
Especially with that full body IK, it's got the full tracking on it. It's nice. It's not like you're just like a floating head or a floating torso. You've had the full body avatars for quite a while.
That's true. Yeah, and that's another thing working on the Pico version is going to have the Pico standalone leg trackers.
Okay.
So they'll to add kicking to that.
We had mentioned
I wouldn't trust myself. Start throwing crane kicks and
with this game. It would be crazy.
My big toe is still healing from when I kicked the wall the other about 2 weeks ago, and it's still red.
I think people are going to have too much fun in all the good ways. You know what I mean? It's like you throw on the shot, you're going to get even more in character throw knee kicks and stuff like that. The whole.
Yeah, theoretically, all this stuff works on the PC. You can do knee strikes, and you can kick knees, and you can hit with the shins, all kinds of things like that. And it does all technically work on the Pico, but the tracking's not quite as good as it is with the the full PC setup. But it's good enough to get you kicking in the game. So all those mechanics are there. Yeah. So I think it's quite fun.
Absolutely. Like we've talked about it. We've had you on the podcast, like I said, twice. We've talked about the game a bunch. I think our listeners know it's a damn good game.
Yeah, it's a banger.
You're always really nice about it. And I
from day one when we were playing it, it was always fun. So now when we go in there together, it's even better.
It's too much fun. Like I said, fully in one of the most I get in character games that there is in VR.
You take something, great and just make it better. Well, you did. So,
well, I hope so. You always worry about, overcooking it,
No, I totally understand that. Totally get it. Like, oh no, it wasn't broken. Why are you trying to fix it?
Yeah.
But I think the changes you make are, I have faith in what you're going to bring to the game.
I hope so. It's always nerve-wracking. But there are just more improvements going on with the sort of multiplayer in general, trying to get the physics working better and it syncing better. Got new option in where you can slow down your walking, so it'll be less thumbstick movement, more in real life movement, if so to me.
That's awesome.
Which, does help make it feel more realistic,
Well, you're very engaged with your Discord community. You listen to them. I always see, people throwing suggestions. I see you interacting there as well, too. So you do a great job, listening to the community and kind of dictating the game direction from there. So,
well, the community have been very helpful. Quite stressful at times, but it is worth me being in there, and their enthusiasm rubs off on me.
So something I've got to ask before we wrap it up: thoughts on the keynote? What do you think of it?
Oh, I'm really excited by it. I know people are quite skeptical of Meta and think they're ruining VR and everything, and maybe they are in some ways, but it certainly looked from yesterday that they're at least sticking with it for now.
Oh, the financial investment they're going to make into the VR space and everything around it is absolutely amazing.
I think the Orion glasses stole a little bit of the show,
yeah,
just because they're so freaking cool.
Amazing,
but the fact that we're going to have a Quest 3 model with the Quest 3S out in the wild for $299, I think is so huge for the industry, getting new people in and especially replacing the existing Quest 2s.
Yeah, I agree. It's like an upgrade to the Quest 2.
Correct.
Which was still outselling the Quest 3, wasn't it, if I'm not mistaken? So it's kind of, seems a perfect option.
3 and 500 is a huge difference. So hopefully this December we see even more of an influx of VR users getting into Kung Fu. And
well, we'll see, won't we?
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming by, talking with us a little bit on camera. And
honor to finally meet you in person.
Yeah, we've been
enjoyed the podcast.
Yeah, we figured we would have to get out to the UK to see you in person. So at least it's on.
Always be welcome to my little town.
I'll keep that in mind. But at least we got to do it on mutual ground, to say the least. So
that's true. Yeah.
Thanks a bunch, Ben.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of